No matter how good or bad of a season you have, everyone has the chance to be a superstar for one game. Let's go back and find the 10 best single game performances for pitchers and hitters. This is mostly based on ESPN GameScore, and for the hitters it seems pretty accurate, but for the pitchers it puts way too much focus on strikeouts, so I'll change that one around. First, the hitters, and number 10 is Willie Adamas, April 26 at Pittsburgh. He started the game with a 2-run homer, drove in 2 more with a double in the 5th to give Milwaukee a 4-1 lead. That lead disappeared, and the Brewers rallied for a 6-run 6th inning, capped off with a 2-out 3-run homer. He added 1 more hit to finish 4 for 5, a single, double, 2 homers, 7 RBI, and 2 runs scored in a 12-8 victory. Number 9 is Elias Diaz, September 9th against Arizona. He got his day started in the bottom of the 2nd, hitting a 2-run homer, and with his team up 3-1, he singled in another run to start a 5-run inning. It was 8-1, but Arizona had a 9-run 5th inning to take a 10-8 lead. Diaz doubled in the tying run in the 7th, and in the bottom of the 9th, Diaz came up once again with 2 on and 2 out, launching a walk-off home run. He finished 4 for 5, a single, double, 2 home runs, 7 RBI, and 2 runs scored in a 13-10 victory. Number 8 is Rowdy Tellez, May 4th against the Reds. After getting a single in the 1st, he came up with the bases loaded in the 3rd and he cleaned them off. A grand slam to give the Brewers a 6-2 lead. He would homer again in the 6th, and in the 8th he doubled in 2 more runs. This was a Brewer blowout, 18-4 final, and Tellez finished 4 for 6, a double, single, 2 home runs, 2 runs scored, and 8 RBI. Number 7 is Yoan Moncada, September 8th at Oakland. J.P. Sears had a bad start, giving up a leadoff homer to Elvis Andrus, and Moncada was right behind him with a solo shot. He followed that up in the 2nd inning, launching a 3-run homer to give the White Sox a 6-0 lead. He would single in the 4th, drive in a run with a double in the 5th, and single again in the 6th. The only guy that got him out was A's DH Sheldon Noisy, getting him to fly out when the score was 14-2. Moncada finished 5 for 6, 2 singles, a double, 2 homers, 3 runs scored, and 5 RBI. Number 6 is Vladimir Guerrero Jr., April 13th at New York. Garrett Cole was pretty good on this day. He just couldn't figure out Vlad. He hit his first home run in the 1st inning, followed that up with a 2-run homer in the 3rd, and that was the only scoring until the Yankees scored 3 to tie it in the 5th. Guerrero doubled in the 6th, but he was stranded. But he had one more good swing in him, hitting his 3rd home run of the game in the top of the 8th. The Jays would edge the Yankees 6-4, Vlad going 4 for 4, a double, 3 homers, 3 runs scored, and 4 RBI. Number 5 is Michael Perez, June 30th against Milwaukee. Perez started off with a single in the 2nd, and with the game tied at 3 in the 4th inning, Perez hit his first home run to give the Pirates a 2-run lead. Milwaukee got one back, but Perez came up in the 6th and clubbed another 2-run homer, and 2 innings later, he went yard one more time, giving the Pirates a 4-run lead. That insurance was needed because the Brewers scored 3 in the 9th, but they held on for an 8-7 win. Perez finished 4 for 4, a single and 3 homers, 3 runs scored, and 5 RBI. Number 4 is Anthony Rizzo, April 26 against Baltimore. After grounding out in the 1st, Rizzo got the party started in the 3rd, launching a 3-run homer. He went yard again in the 5th, extending the lead to 6. The Orioles got 4 back, and in the 7th, Rizzo would walk and score on Gleyber Torres' 3-run homer. The Orioles scored 4 more to make it close, but Judge and Rizzo went back-to-back in the 8th to put the game on ice, a 12-8 win, and Rizzo finished 3 for 4, 3 homers, 4 runs scored, and 6 RBI. Number 3 is Alex Bregman, August 18th at Chicago. He wasn't perfect in this game. He struck out in the 1st, but in the 3rd, he doubled in 2 runs, then hit a 2-run homer to cap off a 6-run 3rd inning. The game was a runaway, but Bregman kept pouring it on, homering again in the 6th, rounding out the game with a lineout and then a double, scoring the Astros' 19th run of the game. The final was 21-5, and Bregman finished 4 for 6, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 4 runs scored, 6 RBI, and even stole a base. Number 2 is Jocko Peterson, May 24th against the Mets. This is possibly the game of the year in the regular season, and after grounding out in the 1st, Peterson came up in the 3rd and hit a 2-run homer, putting the Giants up 3-1. He came back up in the 5th and hit another 2-run shot, giving the Giants an 8-2 lead. The Mets came back and scored 7 in the 8th, taking an 11-8 lead, but Jocko came back up and smacked a 3-run shot to tie the game. The Mets took the lead in the 9th, and with 2 outs, Jocko drove in the tying run with a single, and Brandon Crawford followed with a game-winning walk-off hit. Jocko finished 4 for 6, a single and 3 homers, 3 runs scored, and 8 RBI. Number 1 is Trevor Story, May 19th against the Mariners. By the time Story came to bat in the 2nd, the Sox were already down 4-0, but he cut that in half with a 2-run homer. He would get it all back in the third, hitting another 2-run shot. It would stay there until the 6th, when Story drove in the go-ahead run, and the Red Sox would not look back. They had a 4-run lead in the bottom of the 8th, and with 2 on and 2 out, Story put this one to bed, launching a 3-run home run over the monster. The Red Sox would win 12-6, and Story finished 4 for 4, a single and 3 home runs, 5 runs scored, a stolen base, and 7 RBI. Okay, now for the pitchers. Like I said, game score heavily favors strikeouts, but for this list, I'm more focused on those who finished the game and didn't allow many guys on base. So, there are some awesome performances with a lot of strikeouts that didn't make the top 10, like Shohei Ohtani's 8-inning, 13-strikeout performance against the Royals, where he gave up 2 hits and walked 1. Same with Christian Javier's 7 innings of no-hit ball against the Yankees, where he walked 1 and struck out 13. That 7-inning no-hitter just missed the list, but another 7-inning perfect game will start us off. Number 10 is Clayton Kershaw, April 13th at Minnesota. How would Kershaw do in his first start of the year, coming off his back injury that kept him out of the 2021 playoffs? Well, this was a good sign. 7 innings, no hits, no walks, 13 strikeouts, and only 80 pitches. Dave Roberts is known for pulling his pitchers with no-hitters, and given Kershaw's injury history, all he got was 80 pitches, but they were spectacular as the Dodgers won 7-0. Number 9 is Aaron Nola, August 25th against the Reds. He did give up 5 hits in this game. That's the most hits of anyone in the top 10, but he didn't let any of them score, he didn't walk anyone, and he struck out 11. In the heat of a playoff race, Nola went the distance and the Phillies won 4-0. Number 8 is Patrick Sandoval, August 19th at Detroit. This was a great pitcher's duel with Matt Manning. He went 7 innings and gave up just 1 run, but that was one too many. Sandoval threw a complete game with just 97 pitches, 4 hits, no walks, 9 strikeouts, as the Angels captured a 1-0 win. Number 7 is Spencer Strider, September 1st against the Rockies. This actually has the highest game score on the list at 94, and that's because of the 16 strikeouts. That set a new Atlanta Braves record. He went 8 innings, gave up just 2 hits and walked nobody, and the Braves took care of business, winning the game 3-0. Number 6 is Kyle Bradish, September 22nd against Houston. The rookie went out there and outdueled Cy Young winner Justin Verlander, and he was so close to going all the way. He gave up a single to Jeremy Pena with 2 outs in the 9th and he was pulled, but it was an outing of a lifetime. 8 2/3, no walks, 2 hits, 10 strikeouts, as the Orioles won 2-0. Number 5 is Walker Bueller, April 25th at Arizona. It may have been a lost year for the Dodgers ace, but his 4th start of the season was his best. This was a shutout, scattering 3 hits. He didn't walk anyone, and he struck out 10 as the Dodgers won 4-0. Number 4 is Tyler Mahle, June 14th at Arizona. These were high-stress 9 innings, as the Reds gave him no run support. In fact, when he got that last out in the 9th, giving up just 3 hits, walking nobody, and striking out 10, he didn't get to celebrate and didn't even get the win. The game was tied at 0, but the Reds found their way to a 5-3 win after 12 innings. Number 3 is Dylan Cease, September 3rd against Minnesota. This game wasn't close, but it was a nail-biter because Cease had a no-hitter into the 9th. With 2 outs, Luis Ariz lined a single and that was it. He struck out Kyle Garlick to secure the complete game 1-hit shutout, having walked 2 and struck out 7, and the White Sox gave him plenty of run support with a 13-0 win. Number 2 is Jordan Montgomery, August 22nd at Chicago. When he came over from the Yankees, he went on an epic 4-start run. This was the last start of that run, and it was his best. Drew Smyly was just as good on the other side, giving up nothing through 6 innings until Albert Pujols took him yard. Montgomery gave up a double in the 3rd, and that was the only base runner of the game. Complete game 1 hitter, no walks, 7 strikeouts, Cardinals win 1-0. Number 1 is Reed Detmers, May 10th against Tampa. He was tied for 11th in game score, and that's because of his 2 strikeouts. He found plenty of other ways to get guys out, only letting 1 batter reach base via walk, and 1 because of an error. But no Tampa Bay Ray got a hit that night against Reed Detmers. He pitched the only unassisted no-hitter of the 2022 season, and for that, I think he deserves the number 1 spot. That's all for this video. Let me know what you think of these picks. Again, I based this on ESPN Game Score, and for the hitters, I stuck to it, but for the pitchers, I used my best judgment. To me, it's crazy that Reed Detmers isn't even in the top 10 with his no-hitter, just because he only struck out 2 batters. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, and if you're new here and love baseball content, please give me a sub. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.